Good evening, everyone. So tonight I am making some more chocolate chip cookies. They're a favorite for pretty much almost anybody who likes chocolate and cookies, but they're a big favorite in this house especially. So what I've done is I've already measured out my ingredients. In here I have 227 grams of butter and 150 grams each of granulated and brown sugar. So now we're just going to pop this onto our mixer, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to beat it until these have been well combined. It's going to take about 5 minutes to do that, but I won't make you guys sit here and wait while I do that, so I will pause the video for that. But I've also gone ahead and measured out the rest of my ingredients that I need. I have 2 eggs here. Room temperature. Trick, if you guys don't know, to make room temperature eggs if you're taking them out of the fridge and you forgot to leave them out on the counter, is to just take some eggs and put them in some warm water for 5 or 10 minutes, and it will bring them up to room temperature. I've also gone ahead and added my vanilla. Now the recipe normally calls for 5 grams of vanilla, but I measure with my heart, so I have, I don't know how much vanilla in there, but I did definitely put in more than 5 grams because I measured the 5 grams and then I just poured in some more after that. So I've probably got about somewhere 10 to 12 grams of vanilla in there. In this bowl, I have 334 grams of flour, 5 grams of baking soda, and 2 grams of salt. I sifted them together so they are well mixed. And here I have somewhere between 300 and 350 grams of chocolate chips. I'm using milk chocolate chips tonight just because that's what I'm in the mood for using. Yeah, so I will be back shortly after this has gone ahead and mixed for 5 minutes. I will see you soon. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I have beat my butter and sugars together. And every minute I did go ahead and scrape down my bowl. Even though I am using a scraper beater, I still did go ahead and scrape down my bowl. But this is how you want it to look. It looks nice, and the coloring on it is light. That's what happens when you beat it for so long, is that the coloring gets nice and light for you. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we are going to add our eggs and our vanilla. And we're going to beat them into this just until they are mixed in well. So it's only going to take about a minute or so for that to happen. So I'm just going to pour them in there, scrape down my bowl here, lift up my beater. And I always start my mixer off on slow. Whether I'm doing dry ingredients or wet ingredients, this just helps to make sure that it's spinning nicely and it's starting to incorporate all of the ingredients that I have in my bowl here. And then I just kind of sort of speed up the process for this. And it won't take long for this to happen. We're just going to let this run for a few seconds or so just to make sure that everything has been beat together well. Okay. Now I will show you that. There you go. So as you can see, everything has been beat together well for this as well. Now we're going to just scrape the bowl down again. And I always scrape the beater down as well. It's not going to take as much to scrape this down because it is a lot more moist now that I've added the eggs and the vanilla as well. And just to get to the spot where the beater was sitting at the edge, I just moved the mixer a bit. Okay, now we are going to go ahead and we are going to add in our dry ingredients. And I always add my dry ingredients in nice and slowly because I don't want them to fly up into my face and make a big mess. So I just take a spoon or something and I just scoop it into my mixer nice and slowly, and then I turn my mixer on and I just start it mixing at a nice low temperature, or sorry, nice low speed, and then I add in my mix while it's mixing. Once all of my ingredients have been incorporated, it doesn't need to be fully incorporated, but once they have started to incorporate, well, the dough like has started to become more like dough-like, then I will go ahead and I will speed up the process for this. Now it has started to incorporate, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speed up the process of the mixer here. And I'm just going to do this until everything has been mixed together well. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take off of blade, and we're going to spoon our inclusions in. So what I mean by inclusions in this instance, we are talking about our chocolate chips. Now I will be doing a second batch of these cookies tonight, but I will be making M&M chocolate chips. Sorry, M&M, just the regular plain M&Ms. Now I will be using the Christmas ones because I still do have a lot of Christmas M&Ms left over. But that's not a big deal. They aren't for anyone special. It's just for here at the house. There we go. This blade is scraped off. And now we're going to scrape down the bowl. Just like that. Now we're going to take our chocolate chips and dump them in there, and we're going to use our spoon to mix them in. And it's not going to take much to mix them in. So you're not going to be sitting here for 10 minutes mixing. It's only going to take a couple of minutes to mix all of these in. Now I also have gone ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead, once my cookies are ready, have already been scooped onto the pan, then they will be ready to go into the oven. Okay, go. I'm just going to move these over here. I'm just going to reuse these. I'm just going to be putting the same exact ingredients back into each one of those containers, so I'm not going to wash them. There's no need to, because I will be using the same exact ingredients in each bowl. Now I will wash out this bowl, but I will not wash out these bowls. There's no need to. Now we're going to take a piece of parchment paper. Place it down onto our cookie sheet. And we're going to take, I just have a standard cookie scoop here. I think it's a 2 tablespoon cookie scoop. And we're just going to pop our cookies onto our tray here. Now I can usually get about 20 cookies onto each tray. So we're going to fit 20 cookies onto the tray. Now when I always first start this, the cookies always do pull up the parchment paper, so it always just does take a minute for that to happen. But once you've got them on there, the parchment paper is not really going to be pulling up anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to pause the video while I get my cookies onto my cookie sheet, and I will be back in just a few moments. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've gotten my first tray of cookies ready. So now I'm just going to take these and I'm going to put them into the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to put them in there for 8 minutes to start off with, and then I'm going to check them at 8 minutes and then see how they are. Let me just get my timer going over here. Okay, so my timer is on, so I will be back shortly for the cookies when they're ready to come out of the oven. I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, we're back, and I'm about to take the cookies out of the oven. They did take a couple of extra minutes in there, but as you can tell, they are nice and golden. And what we're going to do now is we are going to add just a little bit of a sprinkling of some flaked salt, some flaky sea salt on top of the cookies. I should have done this on the cookie rack, but that's okay. And what the salt does is it actually just helps to bring out the flavor of the chocolate chips. Okay. And now we're going to take our spatula here. We're just going to take the cookies off of the pan. All right, and I'm going to throw in my other batch of cookies as well to go into that. But I will be back shortly, and we will go ahead and we will make a different kind of cookies. I will see you in the next video. Well, thank you. Have a good night and enjoy.